it's the right angle. I'm trying to find, I'm a couple minutes early. There we go. All right. I didn't get I should be a little more prepared. Water there. Yes, that. I believe I have everything. I'm pretty sure I have everything. I hope I have everything. Nope. Hopefully I don't need my wipes. The thing I don't have. I'll go get some while I'm waiting. You still got a minute, right? Oh, I see people. Hello, hello. Melissa. Hi. I thought I was 100% ready and I remembered a couple things I forgot. So, I ran to get them real quick like. Sundays are lazy days, but yet very busy days. I don't know if your Sundays are like that. Are your Sundays like that? They're lazy days, but very busy lazy days. Always something. So, tonight we're going to etch and we're going to ink. And I'm going to do this as fast as I can so I don't keep you too long. But the reason I'm doing 2 projects is because I can ink the shirt while the etching is setting on the jar, because it takes a few minutes for it to set. So tonight, the first thing I'm going to do is etch on this. It's just a little jar I picked up at Dollar Tree, and I have these cute little, thing of shamrocks. This goes for the vintage truck, but I'm going to use it on the jar. And then I've got some little individual ones too that I'm just going to kind of scatter around the jar. It's just going to be a cute little St. Patrick's Day Valentine's or St. Patrick's Day decoration. Not both, just the one. And then we're going to ink a shirt with this one day or day one, you decide. I thought this would be a nice shirt to wear so that every time I look in the mirror I can be reminded. It's either one day or day one. My decision. All right, so that's what we're going to do tonight. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and lower the camera down to the desk so that you can see what all we've got going on down here. Okay, so if you tend to get dizzy, close your eyes and I'll let you know as soon as we're all set up in the right angle. Okay, here we go. Now, if you join us in replay, please type #replay to let me know and what state you're watching from. And if you're on live, say hi so I know you're here, like Melissa did. Just say hi. Okay, let's give it a second to see if it's caught up. I have lots going on here, and I'm trying to make sure I have enough rooms for working. Okay, so I had I do it? Okay, we'll just get started. So on this jar, what I want to do is etch it with, I'm going to start off with putting this along the bottom. And it won't wrap around the whole jar, but I can finish the rest of it later. I'm just going to do one part of it tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do is fuzz my transfer. I wrote on the back of the backing. That way, once I clean this transfer and place it back on the backing, I'll know which side it really needs to go on, which is the shiny side. So if you forget to write on your backing, just remember it's the shiny side, not the matte side. And since we're putting it on a jar, we definitely want to fuzz it. Fuzz it quite a bit. How are you enjoying the event? Has anybody found some fun stuff at this point? I find it very difficult to be in this entire week of the event and not find anything. I always end up finding something. Okay, so I'm just going to place my transfer. I want to get it as straight as I possibly can. I was fuzzing it because what it's doing is it's basically, and you don't have to have a fuzzing cloth, you can use a towel if you want, or a shirt. What you're doing is exactly what we're saying, is we're just putting fuzz on the back of the sticker so that it's not as sticky as it is when you first get it. Because when you first get it, it's very, very, very sticky. And when you put it on a surface like glass, it can get really stuck to it. And then when you, after you finished, you know, inking or etching or whatever, or pasting, when you pull it off, it can stretch out your transfer and basically ruin the design. So the fuzzing keeps it from sticking too much. And so at this point, I'm just placing it on the jar and making sure there are no air bubbles where all the screened area is. This is like a silk screen. We're a little on the crooked side, so I need to straighten it up. There we go. Okay, so no air bubbles. I'm not going to worry about pushing down the edge because it'll be easier to pull it up when I'm done. So no air bubbles, and you can see all that area right there is screening. And that's where the etching cream will go through and then etch out the glass. Okay. And I also want to put some random, you know, kind of like the wind blew and some clovers broke free and they're just kind of flying. So I'm going to put some random clovers just in random places on the jar. Oh, you know what? I'm forgetting to fuzz. I need to make sure I fuzz these two. They're pretty sticky. They're small, so it should be okay. Oh, goodness. Hi, Heather. Thank you. Wait till it's finished. It'll be awesome. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to pop that one right there. I just want to make sure it's good and sealed on there where the screening is. The rest of it's not that big of a deal, but I don't want air bubbles because then the etching cream will go under the air bubble and it won't be much of a design. It'll just be a blob. And I'll put this one up here. Like that. And I'll put this big one over here. Oh, I'm doing it again. Okay. Now I have picked awkward places to put these because it's an awkward shaped I'm feeling air bubbles on it, so I'm having to make sure I pull it tight. There we go. And then I will put, I think I'll raise this one up a little higher. No, I'll put it down a little lower. Like that. And then I'll get this last one. Whoopsie. Fuzz it a little bit. Oh, absolutely, Melissa. I love to help people know exactly what needs to be done. All right. So now we have random clovers throughout the jar. Making sure there are no air bubbles in the screened areas. Okay. Now I am going to protect my hands. Let's move these out of the way. Side there. Etching cream. Some people are willing to use it without gloves. I'm not, because I'm a big old wimp. And it says to wear gloves and be careful not to get it on your skin, because it could burn your skin. So just in case you're someone who's never used etching cream before. When I first bought etching cream, before I used it, I would open my windows and put on some gloves and pull out my hazmat suit, you know, go to extremes. Because I was a little bit afraid of it at first, but it's not so bad. All right, so I'm just going to dip in the jar and place it wherever I see a clover. Just like this. It does not harm your transfer. So the transfer is still reusable. And it does not go through where you see the teal color part of the transfer. The etching does not go through that. It only goes through the screen area. Pop that on there. Put some on this. And at a later date, I'll go around the bottom. I'll finish going around the bottom. But for tonight, I'm just going to do the one. Okay. Put some here. And a little on that teeny tiny one. And then this part. So I haven't mentioned it yet in any of my posts, but I do have a couple groups that are free groups. If you're interested in continuing to see ideas and things that are done with these supplies and the transfers and such, and you're welcome to join us and see what we do, and even show us things that you like to do. So if you are interested, just type groups on the comments and I will send you the link. You can do Crafty Society, which is my private VIP group, and or Circle of Chalk, which is something that my entire team participates in. Let's see. All right, I'm just making sure I have plenty of it on there. I don't want to miss any spots. Okay, so now I'm just going to set that aside while we ink a shirt. and just let that sit. I better put that up there so I don't bump my shirt on it. Okay, close that up. Put this, well, let's see. Let me take my gloves off. I just got a little bit on my wrist there. Take my gloves off. I'll just set it over here for now. Wash it off my hand. Okay, so that's that. Now, let's do some inking while we are waiting. So this is a gray shirt that I've had in my closet that I feel like is too plain, and I wanted to add something to it. So I'm going to add this little saying here, one day or day one, you decide. This would be a good shirt to wear on days that I don't feel so motivated, right? For anything. I can go to work and not feel motivated at work. Does anybody have that problem? You can get up and go to work on Monday and you're just not feeling it. Or Tuesday or Wednesday. Or maybe even Thursday and Friday. Who knows? So, put that down there. I'm going to write on the back of this. One day. I'm going to time it and see, 7:45. So I'm done with this etching at 7:45. Let's see how long it sits. Now, since I'm putting this on fabric, I will not be fuzzing it because it'll be easy to take it off of the fabric. Being that's what we use to fuzz it with. Since we fuzz it with fabric, it'll be just fine. I'm just centering it on this right there. I'm not going to go too low because it's a V-neck. One day or day one. So I'm putting, this is what we have, this is our inking mat that we put inside or underneath anything that we are about to ink on. So I'm going to take this inking mat and put it inside my shirt and make sure it falls so that it's, you know, in that area right there. That will keep the ink from seeping through and getting into the other side of the shirt. As you can tell, I've used it quite a bit. And it has saved my clothes quite a bit. Okay, so that part's ready. Now, I'm going to make sure this is straight. That's better. All right. I have black ink and Tide. Black velvet and Tide. And what I'm going to do, this is new, I gotta get it open. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm checking my fingers because I don't want to touch the shirt without, you know, with ink all over my fingers. So the first thing I want to do is I want to double check for air bubbles again. And so I'm just going to press down pretty firm on the design itself. Make sure it's good and stuck to the shirt. There we go. Ink is a little thinner than the paste, so you have an increased chance of it running and bleeding through if you're not careful about making sure your transfer is firmly pressed down. So I'm going to do the wording in black. And it really is. It's just as easy as spreading that butter on your piece of toast. The hardest part is picking your colors. There are so many colors, and I just love them all. And I tend to take a long time to figure out which ones I want to use. Okay, so I'm just taking off all the excess and putting it back in the jar. Being careful not to go over the edges of the transfer, because it will stain your shirt. Okay. And then I'm going to take some Tide and just do the little embellishment here with some Tide. I got a little black in there, but it'll be okay. There we go. Just a little pop of color. I've got my heat press heating up to 305 degrees, and I will heat set it for 30 seconds on each side of the shirt. If you don't have an heat press, you can always do it with an iron, and you set your iron at cotton mode, and then you will iron on each side of the shirt for 4 minutes to heat set it, and then it will be permanent. And it is machine washable. So anything that you heat set will be machine washable. Now dishes are not dishwasher safe when you heat set with dishes. But the clothes are. Okay, so let's pull this off and see what we got going on here. Now you always want to pull from the middle of here or the middle of there. I started on the corner, but you want to work your way over to the middle, because if you just pull from the corner, it'll be another way that you can stretch out your design and it won't look as good. Oh, look at this. Yes, I love it. I'll set this over here and I'll wash it when we're done. So now, before I do anything, I'm going to take a blow dryer and just kind of dry it a little bit. It might get loud if you want to turn down your volume. Not done yet. I want to take my ink mat out so I don't warp it. Okay. A little more drying. No more tackiness. The goal was to get rid of any tackiness. So there's no more tackiness. So at this point, it's ready to be heat set. So I'm going to take my parchment paper and place one inside my shirt. It's not straight, but that's okay. All that matters is that it's sitting underneath your design. And then I'll take another parchment paper and put it on top. So this is where you would take your iron. If you have an iron set at cotton, and you would iron over this for 4 minutes, and then turn your shirt inside out, put your parchment paper on both places and iron for 4 minutes. However, I cheat, and I have this baby right here, and so I just need to set it for 30 seconds on each side of the shirt. I started off using an iron, but then I started making a ton of towels and a ton of shirts, and it was just taking too long, so I broke down and treated myself with this little thing. It has saved me so much time. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now, it did not stick, which means it's dry on this side. Take those out. Oh, I forgot to put my mat. I'm sorry. My poor table. The heat press calls for that to be underneath here. I forget sometimes. Hello, Monique. How are you doing? All right, so now I'm going to do this side of the shirt. And as you can see, it came through a little bit. See that? So the ink mat keeps it from seeping over to the back side of the shirt. I'm dropping my stuff all over the floor. Okay, so I've been making stuff. I have a craft fair coming up, so part of my desk is covered up with stuff from me making things for the craft fair. And so I'm trying to work on just a little corner. Okay, now I'm going to do this side. 30 seconds with the heat press. Oh yes, Stephanie, definitely can do shirts this way. Towels, jeans, jackets, pants, what else? I've done table runners. You can do just about anything, whatever you have the desire to try. You can do pillowcases, you know, like the ones that are for decorative pillows. I've done it on pillows themselves, because I pick up a pillow at a thrift store and I'm not able to take it apart, so I just ink on top of it and heat press on top of it, and it works out just fine. All right. Fold this up. I think I might have to wear this to work tomorrow, because I don't want to go tomorrow. I'm grateful for my job, but I'd rather be here doing this. Okay, it's not a very clean fold, but that's okay. And there it is, completely done. It's set, it's permanent, it's ready to be worn. Nothing's coming off, and this is ready for machine wash as well when it needs to be washed. All right, so it has been 11 minutes. I think the jar is ready. So I'm going to get a fresh squeegee. And I'm going to put another pair of gloves on, just in case I mess up. I had a pair of gloves right here, and I put them over here. I'll just put the one on, just in case. It is awesome. All right, so now I'm going to take off all this excess here and just put it back in the jar. This has been about, let's see, 12 minutes now. That it's set for 12 minutes. I don't know, nobody's ever said that you're supposed to put this back in a jar, but it's what I've always done. So, I mean, and I've never had any issues with my etching cream. I figure at least this way it doesn't waste, you know. All right, I think that's it. Did I get them all? I got them all. Moment of truth. Let's see, I want to get you know, pull these out so I can lay the transfers on top of them while I pull them off the deal here. So let's pull that off. Set it right there. It kind of sticks to the glove. I'm going to have to quit using my gloved hand for that. Pull this off. Set it right there. Pull this off. You can't see what I'm doing. Pull that off. Pull this one off. And you're still seeing some of the etching cream left behind. Oh, I accidentally pressed that down on there. Okay. Okay. Set that right there. I'll clean those in just a minute. So now I'm going to take and rinse off all that cream. I put a tub of water here to make it easier so I didn't have to leave the room. Alright. Take my glove off so I can work better. Get these out of the way. Oh my gosh. I'm such a messy crafter. I'm all over the place. Okay, let's scooch those over there for now. Try this. It's going to be a little wet on the inside. I won't be able to get to the inside all the way, I don't think. I'll try. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. So later on, I will do a little bit more right on this side. But look at that. That is just so cute. Okay, so now I have these picks. These picks right here. This is a skewer that I've stabbed through the gold coin that I pulled out of this bag. And then I took some of this, you know, pipe cleaner and wrapped it around the skewer so that it's green. And then we have these picks that I've had for a little while that I never got around to using. So I'm going to pop those in there. I made 3 of these. So I'm going to pop those in there. And then I was trying to think of what I could use for filler. I didn't go anywhere today. I kind of stayed home all day. And I was looking around. I'm wanting to use stuff that I have here at the house because I don't need to be out there buying stuff, right? So I found this bag right here of stickers. Okay, so they're like white on one side and green on the other because you peel the backing off and you stick it to stuff. So I took all the little ones out. Let's see. I had a second one here. Did I drop it? I think I did. And what I did was I peeled off the backing and I stuck them together. Okay, so we have their, oh, Debbie, I didn't start out very artistic at all when I started doing this stuff. This makes it so much easier. I mean, it's all done for you, right? And then being in groups where you can watch how other people are using their stuff makes it even easier for you to figure out what you can do with them. So I took these stickers and I stuck them to each other. So all the little tiny ones are double-sided and the medium-sized ones are double-sided. And I'm just going to kind of stuff it in there. Come on, get in there. pouring glitter everywhere. Then I'm going to make a little bow. Oh yeah, I like the way it's coming out. Just showing off the etching a little more. Get in there. There we go. Put this back here. There we go. And then I took some of this ribbon right here and I cut some pieces. I did a lot of this in advance so that, you know, I don't keep you here too long. Get down in there. These are like foamy stickers, so they'll squish down in there just fine. There we go. And so I'm just going to set these kind of like that. Take a piece of twine. I love doing this. Just making a simple little bow. I'm going to fold it like I'm folding it in half and then put, you know, doing that, right? And just tying it together. Make sure it's centered. And then I actually don't even need to add any more clovers to it because I can just make this clear side the back of the jar. And just tie this on there. Okay, I'm going to raise up the camera because we're all done crafting. So if you tend to get dizzy, close your eyes and I'll let you know when we're there. Almost. I have to wait for the computer to catch up. Yeah, the bow, so I just took 2 pieces of ribbon and just kind of crossed them over like that and then just tied some twine around it. So we made a shirt that now I can wear. One day or day one, you decide. And we etched this jar and just turned it into a cute little St. Patrick's Day decoration. And then when I'm done next year, I could do something different with it. But this year I thought this would be a cute idea since this is what I had here at the house. And that's it. That's etching and inking with chalk couture. So if you're interested in more about how to do this, just let me know if you'd like to check out the groups a little bit and see what's going on there. Just type groups and I'll get you the links to them. And Club Couture. That is the subscription that I posted information about yesterday, and I just decided I wanted to tell you. I have in my possession retired Club Couture transfers. And so anyone who decides to join Club Couture during this event as a subscription, we're going to talk about which one of these you'd like to pick. It has to be during this event. So one extra one for you, that would be nice. And that's it. That's it for tonight. That's it for etching. I mean, it's been about 30-40 minutes and we've done 2 projects. Fast, easy, loads and loads of fun. All right. Any questions? from anybody? Anybody want to share what they've found for themselves, what they've learned? If not, I can let you go because I know it's Sunday. I know it's Sunday night. And a lot of us probably do have to get ready for work. So I'll just hang out for just a few seconds, and if there's any questions that pop up, great. If not, I'll say good night. I want to thank you though while I'm waiting. Thank you so much for watching. It was nice to have a group of people to do this with. I appreciate you so much. Okay, that's going to be it for tonight. Good night, everybody.